Hello, and welcome back to another edition of TCS News. I'm Ethan.
And I'm Ruth. Today we're going to cover international news taking place in the Middle East region of the world, while also covering the wonderful events that have happened in the school.
If you didn't know, back on October 7, 2023, Hamas and other Palestinian militant groups launched a large surprise attack on Israel from the Gaza Strip. This attack marked the beginning of the ongoing Israel-Hamas war. Not only has this conflict been devastating, but it has also been causing threatening dangers from our countries.
The Israeli Defense Force, or IDF, has been attacking and destroying the inside of Gaza, which has a population of 2 million people, while also not letting any humanitarian aid inside. The IDF has been launching attacks at densely populated areas. They begin by sending messages to the civilians, telling them to flee to an area for safety, but soon after they tell the civilians again to flee to another area. The Prime Minister of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, has specifically said he will not end the war until every Hamas personnel has been annihilated. Not only that, but refugees are being pushed to other countries like Egypt, Syria, and Jordan.
As of mid-September 2025, the Gaza Health Ministry and international monitoring groups report that the death toll in Gaza since October 7th is over 64,800, with 164,000 people having been reported injured. However, the actual figure is believed to be especially higher due to thousands of people still buried under rubble. As of August 2025, women and children were reported to account for more than half of the recorded deaths. There are many factors in this too, because barely any humanitarian aid has entered Gaza. Famine is a large factor in the death toll. In the first few months of the conflict, the death rate was extremely high. Between October and December 2023, there was an average of 300 deaths per day.
In addition, Israel has not been cooperating with any peacemaking decisions. In fact, on Tuesday, September 9th, 2025, Israel launched an attack on the capital of Qatar, Doha. It was an attempt to kill senior members of Hamas's leadership. Qatar has been the primary mediator to end the Israel-Hamas war, in addition to Egypt and the United States. Hamas said that Israel had failed to kill senior officials in the group, but the son of Hamas's chief negotiator was killed in the attack, as well as his office manager and 3 other people affiliated with Hamas.
Qatar's Prime Minister, Sheikh Mohammed, stated that they were getting very close to a hostage release and maybe even a ceasefire when the attack took place. He also said that the Israeli government is trying to sabotage every attempt to create opportunities for peace. Other Middle Eastern countries, including Egypt, Jordan, the United Arab Emirates, and Saudi Arabia, have condemned the strikes. European countries such as France and the United Kingdom deemed the attack unacceptable, regardless of the reason, and that it could risk further escalation.
There was a summit called after the strike in Doha, Qatar, where leaders of Arab and Islamic states resolved to condemn Israel's hostile acts and also to make efforts to come to an understanding. The reason the summit is being held in Doha is to show support for Qatar after the attack that took place last Tuesday. Just this year, Israel has launched attacks against 5 other countries that support Hamas or Gaza. These countries are Lebanon, Syria, Iran, Qatar, and Yemen. I hope this war will come to an end soon. There have been so many innocent people dying, including civilians and hostages. The Israeli government is turning a blind eye towards those people who are suffering and dying. This is only to get the land they want. How do you feel about this situation?
You know what, Ruth? Honestly, there are no winners in war. There are always innocent people caught in the middle, and those who survive on all sides are left with a lifetime of trauma. The suffering, death, and destruction is really hard to see, and I really hope that this war can come to an end.
I completely agree with you. Now, let's move on to some exciting TCS news. On Wednesday, we started our very first physical education seminar, which is taught by Mr. Eduardo. Our school is too small to have an actual gym, so we walked down to the Greenmount School to have our seminar. We usually start this class by doing a warm-up like snake tag, but then get into the real fun stuff. For this semester, we have started by enhancing our skills in soccer. Mr. Eduardo let us do different activities that surrounded us learning how to dribble. I had a wonderful experience doing this.
That's right. I always have fun during our classes. Mr. Eduardo is a great teacher, and we really appreciate you for taking the time out of your day to come and teach us.
We would also like to thank the Greenmount School and the principal, Ms. Bonita, for allowing us to have our physical education seminars done at their gym. Mr. Eduardo, thank you so much for teaching us different things while also letting us have a break from our long academic schedules. We truly appreciate having you as a part of our community.
On Thursday, we had our very first sponsor meeting of the 2025-2026 school year. The meeting was led by the head of school, Mr. Tom, and our brand new sponsor coordinator, Ms. Lisa Nickmeyer. The meeting entailed a lot of details surrounding TCS and how it could be better. Ruth, would you like to give us more information?
Yeah, sure. The meeting surrounded the different things that are happening around the school. We students introduced the college courses, the new look of the lunchroom and kitchen, and many more things. Mr. Tom also talked about the importance of communication with the school. This was for all students, parents, and sponsors. It's important to keep up with the school as well as to support us in different ways.
That's right. In addition, Ms. Nickmeyer brought us many wonderful ways to support the school. It could be in different ways that include maintenance like our greenhouse, cleaning, providing lunches, and many other things. Sponsors and volunteers can sign up to help with anything around the school, which we encourage you guys to do. Anyone can provide us feedback on the school as well. We can all be better with each other's support.
We also got to meet new students' families, and they were all very lovely. I thought this was a great meeting. I want to thank everyone who came and participated. We would also like to thank Mr. Tom and Ms. Nickmeyer for leading this meeting. We know you put a lot of time and effort into this.
I agree with you, Ruth. This was a great meeting. I can't wait for the next one, and I can't wait to get to know other volunteers and families in the school.
On Friday, the class had the honor of welcoming Ms. Safiyah for our weekly conversation with. To give a little bit of background on Ms. Safiyah, she went to Towson for filmmaking and went to UMBC for art and tech. She also focused a lot on mundane Afrofuturism, where she saw people helping the African American community live day to day. She currently works at the Walters Art Museum as the assistant manager of teen and college programs. She has been working there for about 3 years now and does a lot of event planning for various programs in the museum. She actually came to TCS and showed us different art programs being offered to young students like us. Can you tell us some of the programs that she came and showed us?
The things that she showed us were classes where students get to learn and enhance their creative skills. For example, there are clay and sculpting and photography classes hosted on Thursdays, every couple of weeks. It's not something you have to sign up for and be forced to go to. It's mostly on your schedule, and you can go as long as you want. I think it's definitely something that the students can use as an extracurricular activity.
In addition, she and her husband, Mr. Dan, run the Islam in Print, where they exhibit many different artworks. She said that people who came in brainstorm ideas about art, and Mr. Dan makes those ideas possible through his prints. They also help many of the artists who come in make a little bit of money through their artwork. After we got to learn about what Ms. Safiyah does, we had the opportunity to ask her personal questions. Can you tell us more about this?
We actually got to learn a lot about Ms. Safiyah's character. She said that she goes out of her way to support and help people sometimes, where she gets to create and strengthen relationships with people. She wants to teach people to be confident and be their own self-advocate, even if they think they can't do it. She said, "Don't let rejection stop you," which really hit me and let me think about all I can do. Additionally, she had made a piece of artwork that looked like a flag with many different headings from the 60s to the 70s. It has many newspaper headings that criticized the U.S. government for what was going on at the time. She wanted to show us that history repeats itself and that we need to do something about it, which I thought was a creative and strong depiction of that.
Miss Safiyah is an only child to a single mother, but she says she was very close to her other family members who she thinks as immediate family. They have been there to support her, and she really appreciates them. In addition, she says that one of her biggest inspirations is her grandmother, who travels to African countries and continues to learn different things even at her age.
We would like to thank you, Ms. Safiyah, for taking the time out of your day to come here and talk to us about what you do. I really learned a lot about you and the Walters Art Museum with what it offers. I know we're going to be there soon, so we hope to see you soon. Thank you.
Moving on, we would like to introduce our special spotlight on for this week's edition of TCS News, Miss Janiah. Did you know she's a graduate of TCS High School? Miss Janiah attended TCS until 2017 when she graduated. From there, she went to Roanoke College in Virginia, following a major in biology on the pre-med track. But a few years later, Once she realized she wasn't getting the grades she expected and was just passing, she eventually switched majors. Her new major was in history with a concentration in East Asian studies, and fortunately, with her Gilman scholarship, she was allowed to study abroad in Taiwan. Miss Janai was able to stay during her spring semester of her junior year until the end of her senior year. For her, it was a nice change of scenery from what she was used to and a large culture shock. After she graduated from college, she went back to Taiwan to teach English.
Though abroad, she started to get overwhelmed and tired of not seeing her friends and family and the homogeneous culture. So eventually she came back to the U.S. after Mr. Tom offered her a position as a teacher at TCS. Coming back to the school for her, she said it felt nostalgic. 2 years ago, Miss Janai became a teacher who taught the now 11th graders like Ruth physical science. She also taught the English 1 and English 2 to both now 11th graders and 12th graders. Last year, she became the school's program administrative assistant, where she helped communicate between students and different schools, while also making schedules, curricular, and keeping Mr. Tom organized. This year, Ms. Janai has become a volunteer at the school. She continues to come back to help the school with the work she did last year, but has also kept moving forward in her life. Ruth, can you tell us what she has been up to recently?
Actually, Miss Janai went on a lengthy vacation to multiple countries. Her vacation lasted about 38 days, during which she visited the countries of Taiwan, Japan, Malaysia, and Singapore. She said going back to visit Taiwan was a very nostalgic and familiar feeling. Her favorite place to visit, though, was Japan. Her expectations were met while also being surprised with a lot more. The cleanliness of food had impressed her. In fact, she enjoyed one of her favorite foods there. The dish is called yakisoba, which is a popular Japanese stir-fried noodle dish made with Chinese-style wheat noodles, vegetables, and a protein that is all coated in a distinct, sweet, savory, and tangy sauce. It sounds very delicious, I won't lie. Miss Janai hopes she can continue to go on vacations every 2 years as she continues to save money.
Currently, Ms. Janai is working on completing her personal training certification, where she says she's having a bit of a hard time, but hopes to have it completed by mid-October. She's actually using her certification to do a side hustle for some income. Ms. Janai hopes to use her experience of traveling abroad and learning about new cultures to connect with people, and make sure they're educated as they travel. She says that she's looking forward to what she wants to do, as well as maybe even learning a third language through what she does.
Wow, I just learned so much about Miss Janai. I've learned so much from her and the time she used to teach us here. She's honestly such a great person, and I'm glad we have someone like her around the school. She has been a huge help, especially for Mr. Tom. So thank you, Miss Janai, for being our spotlight on for this week's edition of TCS News.
On Monday, we had a very special day for a special student. Riley's 14th birthday was on Monday, and we would like to give her a shout out. We appreciate you for being a part of the school. Happy birthday, Riley. I hope you had an amazing day and continue to have many more.
Moving on Tuesday, we had the honor of having Miss Kelly in for a special art seminar. She's an artist and a painter who went to college and studied graphic design. She was actually able to get a really good job in the federal government, where she worked in the National Institute of Space and Technology, where she worked for about 20 years. There, she would create graphs for people who conducted studies. She had actually loved art since the second grade, where she once saw a classmate with a book called The Adventures of the Three Colors. The book surrounded a lot of line art with vibrant colors that just had stuck with her the whole time. After she quit her job, she chose to paint full time and even began to sell her art. Can you tell us what kind of art Miss Kelly does?
Sure. Miss Kelly does a lot of art that includes layering colors that make them overlap and then change colors where they do overlap. She has shown her artwork in various art galleries to show off her artwork and maybe even sell some of it. However, she says that it also helps people relax a bit and feel happier. Ms. Kelly told us that there have been many studies that show vibrant colors raise dopamine in your brain, causing you to be happier. There was also another study that showed people were happier after they left the art gallery.
Colors are actually the reason she came to TCS. She taught us various things about colors. We focused a lot on the color wheel, which was actually created by the famous Isaac Newton. There are three variants of colors. Primary colors are the three colors that create all other colors: red, yellow, and blue. Secondary colors are the colors that those three colors make, like orange, green, and purple. Tertiary colors are colors made in between these two groups of colors. Some examples can be yellow-orange, red-orange, and yellow-green. There are colors opposite of each other in the color wheel that, when paired together, make each other pop out. These are called complementary colors. Triadic colors are colors that have an equal distance apart from each other. And finally, analogous colors are colors that right next to each other on the color wheel that are said to make a piece of art smooth looking.
We then got to talk about other things Miss Kelly has done. She is currently going into school in Towson to get a master's degree in fine arts. She continues to paint and even paints on different objects. She had used fabrics and stressed them onto a canvas to paint on, which I thought was pretty cool. Something that she said was, put yourself out there for opportunities, which I thought was really strong. It is true that you need to do something and not miss any opportunities thrown at you. Thank you so much, Miss Kelly, for coming in for our weekly art seminar. We appreciate the time you took to come here and talk to us about yourself and your amazing artwork. I hope you can come again. Thank you, Miss Cheryl, as well, for being the curator and bringing us amazing artists to our school.
Now, we would like to thank everyone who brought in lunches this past week.
Gracias, Miss Carla. Carla and Ruth's mom and sponsor for the amazing panes con pollo. This was the best lunch ever. I really love and appreciate you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kevin, Jason's dad and sponsor, for the amazing beef stew and bread. This beef stew was absolutely amazing. We value your support.
Thank you so much, Miss Charlotte, Riley's mom and sponsor, for the amazing meatball sub. They were delightful and did me right.
Thank you so much, Miss Miriam, Muhammad's mom and sponsor, for the amazing hip-hop chicken and soda. It's always great having your lunches.
Thank you so much, Miss Kina, Danny's mom and sponsor, for the chicken tacos. These tacos were the bomb.
Last but not least, thank you for watching our TCS News.
Make sure you like, follow, and subscribe.
Bye.
Bye.